Well, welcome to the Panther Podcast, your glimpse into the heart of Fleming County High School. I'm Mr. Basotti, the assistant principal here at Fleming County High School, and I'm joined today by Jared Ishmael. Jared, go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit and tell them a little bit about what you do here.
All right, so I'm Jared Ishmael. I'm a senior. Currently, I'm going to graduate next Saturday at 10 in the morning. I'm pretty thrilled. But here at school, I'm involved in student council, HOSA, Beta Club, Smile Club, and I'm also a part of the Allied Health Pathway on the third floor of the high school.
Yeah, so maybe for people who don't necessarily know what student council is, I think we've heard about it, and there's been a lot on our social media as far as what you do, but maybe talk a little bit more about what student council is and kind of your role within that program.
Okay, so student council, a lot of the time, people will get that and student government association confused, because I know at Round County it's SGA, but realistically they're the same thing. I'm the president of student council, so I know the ins and outs. I've been on student council for 4 years, but on student council, we're very oriented in many things. For example, service. Just last month we went to the Flemingsburg City Park. We did a trash cleanup, and then we also work with second graders from all the elementary schools around the school district, just setting that example for the younger kids, because I know when I was a kid, I always looked up to the bigger kids, hoping to be them one day, which I guess I am in the shoes now as I graduate next week. But we're also involved with the school and then the community. As I said, we went to the park and did a trash pickup. We planned pep rallies. We really orient student feedback, because I know after we had the outdoor movie night in October, we sent out a survey just asking what we could have done better. So we just make sure the school environment and the community environment is overall plentiful.
Yeah, I love that. Love the connection. Love what you do with that. So let's kind of shift gears and talk about the medical pathway. So you are in Allied Core, right? Which is a little bit different. So one of the things that we do here at the school is we have actually two different focuses within our medical pathway. We have nursing, and then we have the Allied Core. So tell people a little bit about what the Allied Core is and kind of the goal of that portion of the medical program.
All right, so freshman year, I didn't start the pathway then, but I did start my sophomore year. So sophomore year, you start off with Principles of Health Science, your introduction course into the Allied Health Pathway. You learn some basic fundamentals, the history of healthcare. And moving on to my sophomore year, then that's when I started taking more of the harder classes, the more meaningful classes that you really need to know for that pathway. For example, body structures. I took that class, and then this year I took med term. But the most important class in the pathway is the Allied Core Health Skills class. So first semester, you learn many of the functions of healthcare. For example, I learned how to do a dressing change on a dummy human body. But then when you get into the second semester, that's where you find more of what you want to do after high school in the healthcare pathway. And Miss O'Connor's done an amazing job of giving the opportunity, exploring what I want to do. Because with this class, I was able to learn my passion more and more for speech-language pathology, and I had the opportunity to go out and shadow Jacob Fritz, who works with Hazelwood Home Health over here in Flemingsburg. But I also had the chance to go to the hospital to see if I may or may not have wanted to be a nurse. But either way, the experience was cool because I did get to do vitals. I got to do an H&P and just talk to patients. That simple communication brightens their day. Because of a lot of time, you will feel alone just being in the hospital room by yourself for periods of time.
Yeah, right. So I'm kind of picking up on kind of a thing that's near to your heart and just kind of service to people. Would you agree with that? You have kind of a pull for that, a passion for that?
Most definitely, because just outside of school, we had our CCD program at my church. I would help out with that, helping the kids with their arts and crafts, then just teaching them the gospel.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that you can connect your passions, and as you've moved through Fleming County High School, you kind of embrace that and seen that now with even what you want to do for your future. You can kind of see that connection with that. So maybe just talk a little bit more about that. You hinted that you want to be a speech language pathologist.
Yeah.
Okay, so So that as a part of that goal, where do you see yourself? Maybe tell the people a little bit about what you see from yourself in that career.
So after I graduate, I plan to go to the University of Louisville and major in communication sciences and disorders. This is a pathway that is just now going to start this fall
Oh, that's awesome.
on U of L's main campus. And while being on the main campus, I'll work with some people from the School of Medicine. Since it is a new pathway, they don't really have a certain place for it.
Mhm.
But as I take more and more classes and then hopefully get my bachelor's degree, then I can move on to the master's program. Now, the master's program, they do have one at University of Louisville, but I'm also kind of looking at maybe going to a different school, traveling around the country because I do like to travel.
Yeah.
And then one day, getting my clinical doctorate degree,
Yeah.
just for further knowledge on speech language pathology, because I myself had a speech impediment, and I want to give back as most as I can, the best of my ability,
Right.
and having those degrees and opportunities will help me do that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, and to be honest, I've been here with you as you've kind of moved up through Fleming County High School. This being my fourth year and your senior year.
Yeah.
So we've kind of been in this and seeing your growth. I can see a lot of potential in you. So my last question is one that I like to ask to everybody that kind of comes on with me. How has Fleming County High School helped to set you up for success? What kinds of things do we do that have kind of helped you to move into where you found success academically and relating to your passions?
Well, like you said, the employees help us, but it's kind of the students' part too. Because I know I took on many things as a student throughout high school, and facing those tribulations helps you grow internally, being able to handle things after high school and your basic adult life. Being a part of clubs, having a job, and doing many other things outside of those two things in general has helped me with just being successful in high school, and then being successful after high school, moving into college, etc. But the employees here, they're very helpful. If you ever have questions, they're always there to answer automatically. And then just the environment in general is pretty awesome. Finding many friends, it's very awesome, and I do recommend to students take as many of the opportunities that are thrown at you, because again, taking on many things at once, facing those tribulations will help you in the long run and help your future even better.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, Jared, thank you so much for joining with me today.
Anytime.
Is there anything else you want to say for the good of people watching?
Go Cards.
Thank you, man.
Anytime.